Welcome to Connecting the Community podcast. I am your host, Marge Andre. I will be connecting you to people, organizations, and events that create community. I am creating this podcast in Richmond Hill, an eclectic and very culturally diverse community with lots of trees and streams and interesting people, just up the hill from Toronto. On this podcast, I'm talking with Anders Lindfors about the upcoming Richmond Hill Rotary Club Craft Beerfest. Welcome, Anders.
Hi, Marge.
I am glad that we are having this conversation. So it's good. I know you're a busy person. But Anders, can you tell us what your role or is it roles?
The Richmond Hill Craft Beer Festival started in 2013. It's actually originally initiative I started for the Rotary Club back when I was started as a member with them. Being in the hospitality industry, I had connections with craft beer breweries and kind of had seen what was happening in the industry, and it was an opportunity for the Rotary Club to do a nice social event that brings together small businesses and really in the community. And it was a great way for the club to raise some money for charity and really to also highlight some local small businesses and get people out and to raise some awareness about the Rotary Club itself.
Very good.
It started back in 2015.
Okay.
So
I think I went to the first one, and it was quite good. Had a good time, and I'm glad that 10 years later, I think you had an interruption with COVID, but it's very nice to see that's a great event happening in Richmond Hill. So why the Rotary Club? Do all Rotary clubs have beer festivals?
So to be honest, I think we might have been the first.
Okay.
We first, but not last. Within the years, actually, after starting this event for the Richmond Hill Rotary Club, several others have reached out to the club and myself to get some input, ideas on how to start their own. So much like a lot of the rib fests around are run by Rotary clubs, both I believe in Canada and the US. There's been more and more craft beer festivals that have expanded, and a lot of different Rotary clubs around have started running them as well.
Okay, so are the proceeds earmarked for something special? I know the Rotary does so much good work, both locally and internationally. So, are the proceeds from this event earmarked to something specific?
So the ones from this event aren't specifically earmarked for something. They go into kind of so one of the unique things about the Rotary Club is kind of what they do with a lot of stuff is being a local service club in the community. A lot of local charities or small organizations will actually approach the Rotary Club looking for funding. So they actually end up doing a lot of small funding for a lot of small little things to help other organizations out or student groups out, the community groups out. So the money raised from the Craft Beer Festival, which has been upwards of 10,000 or more over the past couple of years, all that money goes right to charity. It's 100 since it's all volunteer. There's no overhead. There's no one getting paid out of this. So all the money raised goes into the fund and then gets distributed through things like scholarships. Again, helping things like the local Salvation Army. They've done things like out of the cold programs, winter jacket distribution, all kinds of different things like that. So the money does go to 100% to charity, but it isn't one specific cause.
Okay, very good. I realize we have not said when and where it is. So how about we backtrack and say that then?
So the Richmond Hill Craft Beer Festival is on Saturday, August 12th. It runs from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. and it's at the Richmond Hill Center for the Performing Arts on Yonge Street at Wright and Yonge, right in the core of Richmond Hill.
It's right in the core of Richmond Hill. It's been a great venue, lots of parking, free parking. So yeah, very good. So glad I remembered that. Say when and where this your great event is. Okay. Let's start by talking about the beers that will be available. It's not just your local Labatt's Blue. There are lots of different interesting beers that you have. So tell us about them.
So the strength of this event is the idea. It's a tasting event. It's a chance to come out and try a whole bunch of different things. Beer served in 6-ounce portions. So the idea is you can actually go and try a whole bunch of different ones. Each brewery, we're going to have 6 breweries there representing, I believe, over 10 different craft brew brands. So there's, and each of them bring a whole bunch of variety. So, I mean, at this point, I'd assume there's going to be at least over 30 different beers to try, if not actually probably more, plus some ciders, wines, craft distillers. So it's really, you get a chance to go around, try a little bit of everything. The craft breweries, the first one that we actually have Richmond Hill's first own craft brewery that's going to be there, York Brewery. So they're going to be sampling their brews. They are really delicious. So I got to mention them first since they're local. But we do also have brands like we have Steam Whistle, we have Bose coming, we have Blood Brothers Brewing, which hasn't been there before. They're coming to try out their stuff. They have a lot of unique brews. We also have Pump House Brewery that is from New Brunswick, so they're new to the province, so they're coming in and sampling some of their stuff. We have Hop City coming as well, and I think I listed off all the main breweries. And like I said, there's a bunch of brands with them because some of the breweries actually they do distribute for a couple different ones. So there's going to be some other ones there that I haven't listed.
Okay. I won't ask you which one is your favorite, so that doesn't seem fair. But it's like, okay, I think you should go with somebody and take whole bunch of 3 ounces because 30 different beers, that's hard work to decide.
It's a lot. We definitely want everyone to drink responsibly, and that's actually one of the things we love about the venue being in the center of Richmond Hill. It's very accessible by transit, so there is free parking. There's also no problem leaving a car overnight if people have too much to drive, and it is nice in the core of Richmond Hill. So we do have a lot of people that actually walk from their homes out to the event.
Yeah, that's what I did. So yes, so very good. Okay, you are the co-owner of King Henry's Arms, a well-established pub restaurant at the Yonge and 16th. You're one of the food establishments that will be selling food at the event. What do you have on the menu?
So we're going to bring some of our easy, more a little bit edible side of things. I'd love to bring things like our wings and burgers, but they're a little harder for us to bring over. So we're doing things. We do a stuffed mini Yorkshires that we serve at the pub. They're one of our favorite appetizers, so we actually will have those there. We have jumbo pretzels. We're going to be featuring our famous chili. And then I'm probably going to also be doing our meatball sliders because they've been very, very popular. We have our handmade meatballs that we serve at the pub that we actually turn into like a mini slider to make it a little bit more consumable at the event. But it's something that has been really popular in previous years.
Ooh, that sounds delicious. There's another one of my favorite restaurants, Anil's Taste of the Caribbean. We actually saw each other there earlier the week. And that's why, hey, do you want to do this podcast? So, do you know what Anil is serving?
Anil is serving a little bit of a highlights of some of his feature items. I know he's doing a boneless version of his jerk chicken. I believe he's doing the same for his curry chicken, and I'm not sure if he's bringing his oxtail or some stewed chicken as well. I know he's bringing a bunch of different items off his menu. And as you said, Anil's is one of my favorite local restaurants as well. So he brings a lot of good food. It's really popular, and his restaurant is right next to the venue too. So it's great to then support someone local.
Yeah, it makes sense for him to just pop over to that. I noted on the website there's another restaurant, Chicken and Dough. I'm not familiar with this place. What do they have on the menu?
So Chicken and Dough is a newer restaurant. They're located in Richmond Hill, just over at Yonge and Elgin Mills. So they're coming. They actually do things like wings, burgers, fries. They focus on, it's a Chicken Dough Express, so they focus on a lot of takeout and delivery. Their primary product is actually going to be, I believe, they're coming to do chicken wings. So they're setting up outside, and since that is one of their feature items that they do out of their restaurant, they're going to come and serve chicken wings at the event.
Okay. Now, can you pay for this food? Like, do you need to bring cash? Will it be debit to Square, whatever?
We will have a credit card machine there, so people
Okay.
can buy sample tickets, buy entry with card. We do recommend bringing cash if you can. There will only be one machine, so honestly, cash still makes things flow a lot easier. And there also are going to be a couple vendors there selling products. And for those vendors, they will be cash only, just because it's a little bit more difficult to set
Yeah.
up payment systems for everybody.
Okay. So just a practical issue I thought I should talk about.
No, it's much appreciated. It's come cash in hand. We have you covered if you don't have cash, but cash makes things a lot easier.
Got it. Okay. So tickets are available now. You can go into a Neil's. I know you were bringing in some tickets for a Neil to sell earlier this week, but they also going to be purchased online and ahead of time. So the idea of buying it online, buying your ticket ahead of time really makes sense. So you can go to the rotarybeertasting.com. I'll put that website in the podcast notes. But when you buy this $25 ticket, you also get 2 drink tickets, correct?
That's correct. If you buy your ticket in advance, so if you buy your ticket from a Neil's, if you come by King Henry's Arms, or you go online and buy the tickets through Eventbrite, the link is listed, as you said, on rotarybeertasting.com. If you buy your tickets in advance, it includes 2 free sample tickets that you get when you arrive at the door. If you do arrive and walk up and buy your tickets the day of, the tickets are still $25, but you don't get the free samples included. So it's our little incentive to get people to buy your tickets early. And yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. And how much are individual drink tickets?
Individual drink samples are $2.
Okay.
So sample tickets will be sold for $2 a piece, and then all the beer samples will be $2, and then some of the food and everything else the prices will depend on the item.
Definitely makes a lot of sense. Okay. And there's entertainment at this event. You're not just sitting around eating, drinking beer. Got some great entertainment. I see that your MC is Liam Kelly. I like that guy. Can you tell us what type of music are we going to hear?
So we have our host, local comedian Liam Kelly. He will be emceeing the event, and then we'll be having live bands playing throughout the event. So to start off, we have this awesome big soca band, the band Excel, coming. So they're starting off the event for us. We'll also be having a local band, Between the Static, who are excellent. They've played for us before. Many people, if they've been down to the concerts in the park down at the Mill Pond, they'll have seen them play there. They're really, really good. We have another local band, The Everflowing. They have a new name now. They've added a fiddle player and a couple other musicians to it, but they were actually a band that did play for us last year as well, and play a lot of local venues around York region. So they're really, really good as well. And then we're going to have a couple other bands too that we haven't announced yet.
Okay.
But there'll be live music throughout the night.
Okay, sounds excellent. So again, it starts at 4 and it goes until 11. Is there a good time to come? Is there a really busy time? What would you recommend?
It's it's kind of funny. I would say that the busiest hours of the event are probably somewhere between 7 and 8 o'clock. The nice thing about the event, because it does really run from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m., there's entertainment throughout. You won't miss out whether you arrive early or arrive late. The crowd tends to turn over a little. It is a really, really popular community event, so the turnout is quite good. But I would say if you come anytime during the night, you're not going to miss out. All the vendors are going to be there. The music's going to be playing. It'll be a good time. Okay, so there's not a good or a bad time to come. About how many people have you had in previous years? Last year, our attendance was over 500 through the doors. So every year, there's always little dips, but we average between 400 and 500 people at the event every year.
Okay, so yeah, and it does attract a lot of good people. I know the mayor and council like to come, and other dignitaries that. This is a good event. I don't mind going to a craft beer festival. So I always found it just a great opportunity to socialize. So I'm sure it will be again this year. And also there are a lot of people from the Board of Trade there. That was the other thing I wanted to mention. That the Board of Trade, the staff at the theater, again, all very, very supportive of what you are doing. Anything else that you'd like to add, Anders?
I would love to just, obviously acknowledge and thank the sponsors of the event. We've had, House and Law, Dr. CP Geary, Dentistry. Both of them are Rotarians. They've generously sponsored the event, and we also received a sponsorship from council from the city of Richmond Hill. So all three of those sponsors have really contributed to help make this event happen, make sure that it is the success it is, both as you mentioned, as this awesome, great community building event, supporting and small local businesses, and also then, just bringing everyone together and raising money for a good cause.
Yeah.
I do feel this is one of the few times when you see a charity event that is really, really a charity event where all the money is really going to charities. It's not a portion of the proceeds. Every dollar raised goes to help someone in need.
Okay, very good. Now, if it rains, do you have a plan B?
We do. Well, the amazing thing about the Richmond Center for the Performing Arts is that venue lets us, we have the whole venue. We use that outdoor plaza space in the lobby that kind of wraps around it as this sort of ideal indoor-outdoor space. The great thing is there's plenty of space for us inside. So rain or shine, this event goes on. We just shift everything in. We have there's room inside the building so the layout changes a little, but the events be able to go on without a problem.
Okay, so plan on going despite the forecast, and if it's a great summer evening, yes, you're in for a treat and a very memorable time. So great. I do end all the podcasts asking the same question of all guests. Name one thing you really like about this community.
I think, especially since I see a lot of the community through my sort of restaurant hospitality sort of eyes, is I love the diversity in this community, and I love the diversity in the restaurants and the food that we get to have here. I think at times I think many Richmond Hillians take for granted just the variety and the quality we have here. Like, you can truly go around and try amazing high quality food from all around the world, and it's something that it shouldn't be ignored.
Very good. I like that answer. I almost got the exact same answer from the librarian. So if you
I'm on to something.
We're on to something. So that's what we need to put that as our tagline. Great food, great diverse food. So thank you, Anders. Good luck with all the last minute work that you need to do to make this event a success. And again, thank you for doing it. Richmond Hill is better because of it. Thank you for listening. I would very much appreciate you sharing this podcast. Please tune in next week as we continue to explore the community. Consider emailing me at Marj, M-A-R-J, at marjandre.com. I welcome suggestions for podcast guests. Stay well, stay connected.